Hello and welcome to Move or Improve with Debbie. You know, each month I like to interview or chat with someone who's an expert in a particular area of interest for retirees to relocate to. And this month we're going to do Las Vegas, Nevada, or Nevada. We're going to ask Arnee Dodd, who is out there in Vegas, to please let us know what the correct pronunciation is. But Arnee has quite a number of years experience with clients and providing the best experience possible for them. But she's been in real estate for 5 years and in Vegas of several years. And before that, she was in St. George, Utah in real estate. So you have a double whammy here. You can ask her about St. George, Utah or Vegas, depending on which one you want to do. But believe it or not, she was in the film and TV business doing makeup and special effects in New York City. So she relocated to the desert. So I'm really glad to have her here this morning. Welcome, Arnee Dodd.
Thank you.
Now, this is the big, we cannot go any further until we find out, is it Nevada or Nevada?
So according to the locals, it's a short A. It's Nevada, but I still say Nevada, and I get called out on it all the time. That's kind of the secret, like, oh, you're not from around here.
Instead of wearing something, a hat or something like that, you just stick out by saying Nevada, Nevada, potato, potato. Okay.
Exactly.
So, since you've been there, what do you find people like best about living in Las Vegas or the surrounding area for that matter? What is your opinion on that?
The biggest thing I hear, most people around here really love the nature of the desert, like going to Red Rock, and that you can be pretty much anywhere. You can live anywhere in Las Vegas, and within minutes you can be at the Strip, or you can be out hiking, or you can be at Lake Mead or Mount Charleston or Red Rock National Park, and we're not far from Los Angeles, or anywhere within the bordering states. You can be at any of the national parks within just a few hours. So it's all location.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. So I'm curious, you moved from a big city like New York City out there to the desert. What was there about it that attracted you?
When I got out here, it was really the beauty of the mountains. Being from New York City, the biggest thing we have is buildings.
Yeah.
So
different kind of skyscraper. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that's a different type of, wow, this is huge and massive and gorgeous. And then you get out here and you see the sunset at the mountains, and you're like, oh gosh, this is a whole different level of huge and gorgeous and just absolutely stunning. So I really fell in love with it, and not having snow, that really helped.
Yeah. I know that's why people move to Arizona and out to Vegas area and that sort of thing. They don't want the S word, that's for sure.
So, I know.
Speaking of snow, what about the weather? I mean, I it's pretty hot. You're in the desert, but I remember the times I've been to Vegas, and I do love it there. When you're walking up the Strip, they have misters that spray you to keep you cool if it's hot summertime. But how many days of sun, and what are the average temperatures? And is there a best time of year to go when it's not so hot?
So we only really have about 8-ish weeks of very hot temperatures where it'll be like about 95 to 100, maybe over 100. The rest of the year, it's pretty mild. But definitely June, July, and August are when you're going to get all of the heat. Spring, winter, and fall are much milder. And because I grew up in the Northeast, I don't often see a need for a coat. But in February, we definitely do get a couple of weeks of very cold weather, and we do get a little bit of snow.
What's very cold in Vegas versus very cold in New York City? There's a difference.
Okay, so very cold in Vegas versus New York City is maybe like 20 degrees or 18 degrees out here in Vegas, where very cold in New York City, with the wind chill will be like a minus 15.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it does get cool enough to need a jacket in the evening, but I would think you could get some pretty good bargain hotel prices in July and August.
Yeah, actually, July and August, not really, or that's when our prices are up because there's always events going on.
Well, that's true. That's very true. Very true. But
Yeah,
the weather out there, I mean, you probably have sun almost all the time, don't you?
you do, and that's the beauty of it is during the day when it's cold out in February, you have so much sun that you're walking around during the day and you almost forget for a minute that it's winter until the night hits.
Ah, yeah. Well, now,
Yeah.
do you have a monsoon season like they do in Arizona? And if so, when is that?
Yeah, we definitely have that. It's around August to September, and we'll get it, rain like I've never seen in my life. Like we don't have this on the East Coast. It's like a torrential downpour, and as quickly as it starts, it's gone
Huh.
because we don't have any humidity out here,
Uh,
and the when we do get enough humidity for the rain, it pours and then it evaporates and it's like nothing ever happened.
well, that's true. There's nothing to hold it in. That's true. No humidity makes it for a nice kind of lifestyle. So, what about taxes out there? If a retiree is moving there, what can they expect to pay for real estate taxes and that sort of thing?
So our real estate taxes are absurdly low. I think we are the second or third lowest in the nation. Um, we are, uh, like, say you own a home that's about $350,000, you're probably going to pay close to $1,700 a year in property taxes.
Wow. So
Um,
about a dollar per hundred of assessed value. Is that?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my.
we're slightly under a dollar right now.
Okay.
It's absolutely ridiculously low.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, and we don't have any local or state income tax, which makes a huge reduction in the cost of living. So it's unbelievably inexpensive to live out here.
Well, I imagine the gaming industry probably shoulders a lot of the tax burden, so that makes it better for the residents there, right?
They do. So it takes a huge burden off of us.
Well, that's great. So the cost of living is fairly low, or is it comparable to what else is in the country, or how does that fare?
It's extremely low. In fact, I was talking to some buyers that I've had in the past over the weekend, and they said that when I moved here, I had to take a significant pay cut to move to Las Vegas from my last location, and but the cost of living is so low, and because we don't have any state income tax, I'm actually netting more in my check every week now than I was when I lived in my last state. And they're just absolutely shocked that like how much farther their dollar goes and how much more money they're actually making. So it's really, I mean, everything is expensive here. I remember going to buy apples on the East Coast and it was like, 5.25 a pound. And I got out here and the same apples were like 99 cents or a dollar a pound or $2 a pound. And I was like, what? I
Well,
couldn't believe
I guess
it.
they bring them in from California or wherever. Yeah, for you all are close to there. We don't have to ship them across the country. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
but when I lived in Connecticut, we had apple orchards, so it wasn't like we were going far.
yeah, that's true. But they're going to charge you a bushel full. That's for sure. Well,
Yep.
um, Arne, what about like medical facilities, hospitals, doctors? That's something that concerns retirees. And I know you work with retirees and relocating people, so you must have good connections as far as recommending what hospitals are nearby for various issues that might come up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I do have quite a few clients who are retired, and some do have some health issues. So they have, recommended to me their favorite doctors, their favorite hospitals. Medical facilities and hospitals everywhere it's the same. You've got the ones that are really, really great and the ones that nobody will go to or don't want to go to. But the ones that we have that are really great and top notch. We have some of the best doctors in the world out here. And I was surprised to see a lot of them came from New England, where I'm from, that came from Yale.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, so it pays to ask around potential future neighbors and other friends out there that may have already established with a doctor or a medical facility to find out which ones are really good. And I imagine you could probably Google it too if you wanted to, but
Absolutely.
people are always interested in knowing, can I get a good doctor? Is Medicare going to cover me and that sort of thing? So that's good to know.
Yeah. And if you don't know who to ask your realtor, because
Yeah.
at least I'm always asking, as many questions from my clients as possible to find out, who they know, who they recommend, who they
Right.
trust.
Well, that's good. I mean, you want to get a good referral so that you can also, visit that particular doctor or visit two or three and just see which one's personality matches what you're looking for and what their expertise might be. So that's very good to know.
Absolutely.
Very good. So I know the times I've been to Vegas, I believe it or not, I have not ridden the monorail, but I plan on doing so next time I'm out there. But what kinds of transportation? Obviously, you have Uber and monorail and taxis and stuff like that. But I know traffic on the strip gets pretty heavy. But what other ways are there to get around? Can you do a lot of walking along the strip and that sort of thing?
So definitely on the strip and on Fremont Street, and areas around there, like the Arts District, everything's really close together, and it kind of reminds me of New York City in a way, because it's the short blocks, so it's very walkable down there. When you get outside of the strip, I I think having a car is much easier. We do have a very extensive bus system, but especially when it gets hot, I think having a car is really the easiest way to go. Um, but I mean, we have, thousands of residents who don't own cars and they take the bus every day. So it's definitely doable. So it's not something that's impossible to, live out in Las Vegas without a car. There are some farther remote areas towards the edge of the city where you're definitely going to want to have a car.
For
But
sure. Oh,
yeah, there are some smaller neighborhoods that are walkable. There are some, neighborhoods that you can look them up online, and they do have a pretty high walkability rating. Um, that they're not too far from grocery shopping and other stores. So
they're more
it,
self-contained. In other words, they're like a little community unto themselves
some are, yes. Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
definitely.
bank and
Some
the grocery
are.
store and the dry cleaner and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they're building a lot of those now.
for sure. Well, yeah, it makes sense. Why do people want to have to drive everywhere? For sure. Well, I want to get to the fun stuff now. I know
Okay.
the shopping and the restaurants in Vegas are awesome. I can't wait to visit Italy the next time I'm out there. But I know they're just every time you go out there, there's an awesome restaurant that's either opened or